Catus, Maximus here. This is just a flexible retriever claw type with magnet pickup tool. The big difference here is how long it is. 40 inches. So this thing is just absolutely massive. Almost 3.5 feet long. To give you an idea of just, this would be a standard claw type retriever tool. Claw type retrievers are the ones that have these little claws that stick out and that you pick up lost bolts, various things from confined spaces. If we measure it up, this is how much longer, almost twice as long as a performance tool. As far as how it looks, pretty nice. They actually have a nice wide handle, billet aluminum. I think the biggest criticism here is that they didn't do a very good job of really stamping, or excuse me, or I should say crimping. They just put a couple little dots here. So personally, I'm going to end up putting just a few more punches in there to get this to hold on a little bit better. I do like that they plastic coat this, so that does help pass through. On the other end, it's the same deal. I wish they would have crimped it a little bit better. One thing that I am on the fence about is the fact that it is a decent magnetic pickup tool, but when I looked at a bunch of them on the shelf, these claws were pretty badly formed and they just didn't really want to hold together. So I had to look at like 3 of them until I was able to find one that actually had claws that appeared to be decent enough. It has a little ring neodymium magnet, but I don't know if it's a real high-grade N50. It seems to be good enough, but it's not particularly strong. The other issue is, of course, by having that magnet on there, it makes the end of this a bit larger. Actually, if we compare it, this, and I think this one's, so this is like an old Napa American-made one, but we can see the difference in sizing there quite a bit. This ring is quite a bit larger. That's the easiest way to put it. Don't know how else to say it. And I'm kind of on the fence. I like that it has an integrated magnetic pickup tool versus the claw. And I can say that the claw does stick out quite a ways past the surface of the magnet. So you really do have quite a bit of grip and reach with this. I just wonder if it's going to end up interfering or getting caught up on things. One thing that is nice about having it integrated, so it's certainly a tool I'd like to have, but I'd also like to have one of these that has a really small head like this that's super long. And that's really the biggest advantage of this, is the fact that the magnet can help kind of get the bolt close enough to where you can get the claws on it. And that could be a huge advantage in many situations where, you know, you're kind of fishing with the claws. And so you use the magnet to get a hold of it. But if you have a magnet only and you're trying to pull it out of some confined space and it's getting knocked off the magnet, it's nice to be able to kind of get it to stick, be able to get the claw on it, and then have a real grip to be able to retrieve your fastener or whatever you're trying to grab. These things are pretty good if you have wires nested in various tight access places. They work pretty well for grabbing hold of those. So that's all I really had for this performance tool. It looked pretty nice. It was like $10. It was kind of expensive, but it could easily be invaluable, because if you're in a situation where one of these doesn't reach, then you're just not getting access to it. And this is something that can just reach all the way down into, you know, the bottom of an engine bay, up in the frame rails, around and through body panels. It does have a little bit thicker of a body than I would say a more traditional one has. And I can see why, because we can cantilever this out almost 2/3 of the way. I can't even get it all in frame, but it's pretty rigid, and so I appreciate that too, because if you're in a situation where you need to move horizontally, just like a measuring tape, you want it to be able to stand out a fair distance so you can get it into whatever bore or hole you're trying to retrieve stuff from. So anyway, that was just a simple little review and my 2 cents on this performance tool. Super long combination magnetic hook grabbing pickup tool. Oh, and I was noticing this ain't no lifetime, and they're a 1-year limited warranty. But it's pretty cool, and I'm glad to see some of these super long pickup tools starting to hit the shelves. Anyway, I really appreciate everybody who's been watching and subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Until next time, Catus Maximus out.